Okay, welcome back to anybody that's here right now. And today I'm going to try to realign the. I wonder if I almost wonder if I don't have as much of a problem with coordinate spaces as I think I do. Granted, rooms um, and a layout tool is just a node, so it shouldn't have a position. Layout camera. Where's the camera? Offset, anchor, enabled, zoom, transform. Where's the transform? Um, so let's run this for a quick second. Now, if I drop this, the camera position does not change. Okay, so, all right. So the first thing I want to do, actually, let's see something here. Hold on a second. Nobody in here. Nobody in here. Good. All right. So the thing that I want to do first is I'm gonna make sure this GitHub desktop is updated. It actually looks like it's moved everything all around or something here. Oh, yeah, the stupid. It's a proxy file. Like when you still have it open, I don't care. Whatever. It doesn't really matter. Dated a few things. Doesn't really matter. All I want is I want to just make sure that it's all up to date according to the way it is right here, right now. And then the next thing I want to do is um, I want to do a different kind of a backup. I want to do like a whole folder backup first. I mean, not that it's strictly necessary, but um, I am. Can we get rid of the search here? How do we get rid of the search? How do we close that? Escape. Okay, escape. That's good. Okay, so here is the deal. Rooms and rooms backup. Okay, that's where I put the rooms backup. Okay. We got projects, older projects. Maybe I'll make a backup two, call it back two or something. Uh, and hopefully remove any of the GitHub Git stuff or whatever. So do a copy. Let's go ahead and hit paste. Rename. Let's rename this VK2 like that. Okay. Get attributes, get ignore, do. Get. Oh, the Git folder is gone. And honestly, I can take these and I can delete these too. Don't need the Git stuff in there. Same thing here. There's no Git stuff in here. That's fine. Other projects. No Git stuff in here either. So that was the only thing that had the Git thing left in there. So, but let's take backup 2, which is our latest backup. And we're going to delete delete this. Then we're going to delete these two things because I don't have anything to do with anything, and it's just this is our second backup. It's a more recent backup. Okay, that's fine. Um, I want to rename this. We'll call this BK for a backup, and that's backup one. So then when I add a new backup, I'll rename this BK2, and anyways, I'll figure it out later. But okay, so I did that. Enchanted land. Okay, that's other projects. Readout projects. Phase one. Let's go to cut. Go to rooms. Or not rooms. Go to this. So this is April, May, June. And okay, so let's just go ahead and hit paste. Let's call this rooms backup, rename. Five. Okay, and then copy, paste, and we'll just rename it rooms backup. Okay, like that. We'll go back in here. Just shouldn't close it, I guess, but that's okay. Backups. I just don't want to like have everything gone. I just even though I know it's on GitHub, I just want to make sure that I just have a local copy myself. Don't strictly need to do that, but it just makes me feel better if I do it like that. Okay, and see, my audio is on, right? Okay, good. Okay, so I'll close that again because I don't need it for a while. Okay, so this is what I want to do. Actually, let's go ahead and pull up this. We'll go back to here. Okay, so we're going to first realign coordinate spaces. Today, Friday, Oct 8 at 2:19 p.m. EDT. EDT. It probably knows what I was saying. No, but I am going to ask a few things here. Okay, so here's the deal, right? Let's take lion. Oh, that's right. I didn't set an owner for that box, so that's not going to show up here. Main menu. Oh, that's all right. Take rooms. layout tool isn't going to have a transform if I'm correct. So in this scene, there are only four objects. Each room is more than four with the rooms, but I'll get to that in a moment. Layout tool is a straight up node. So no transform, i.e. no position. Rooms. Rooms is a node 2D. Line overlay is a line overlay is also a node 2D. And layout camera is a camera 2D. Straightforward, correct? Everything's pretty standard for 2D scene. Well, I figure the first thing to do is to make sure the rooms, overlay, and camera nodes are sitting at 0, 0. That would be the first thing, right? No, but I'm going to do it in the redot editor rather than via code, which should be okay, right? Nothing changes those from within the code that I know of. The only thing is the rooms that get saved, the data and are reset because I do want to keep the nodes relative positions to each other the same. So give me a sec. To 0, 0 in the editor is effectively doing it via. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. It's fairly simple. Layout camera, we are going to set the, let's go on the transform, and we're going to set this to 0, 0. Okay. There we go. 0, 0. That's fine. That's all hunky-dory. So the pink or purple, depending on how it renders out box, is the camera box, correct? What about the blue box? Is that just default viewport? I want to make sure. Okay, because it seems that blue box never moves regardless of where the camera is. Always anchored to the viewport. It's basically a window frame showing the visible area of the scene. The camera's position moves independently inside the scene. The blue box itself is just edited a viewport reference, so it won't move when you pan or move the camera. Okay, that's perfectly fine. Okay, so then let's go to rooms node and let's go to transform and let's switch this to 0, 0. That. And then let's go ahead and do the same with the line overlay, which is basically the same coordinates. 0, 0. Okay. Save it. All right. Now let's do what? Let's go ahead and just reload here. I'm gonna go ahead and Control S. I'm gonna go ahead and scene, reload, save scene, and everything looks like it did, which is fine because it should. Awesome. Now, okay. So now, is really the question, how does moving the rooms around where I want build into this? Everything is in the same coordinate space, or it should be, in theory. Do I need to move all of them down to a specific position, or do I leave them considering they're still supposed able to be moved around manually? There, everything should already be in the same room's local coordinate space if rooms is at 0, 0. So your local origin is for the rooms themselves. All room panels positions are relative to rooms. line overlay and layout camera are separate nodes, but do not modify the children of rooms. So you don't need to move all the rooms just to realign the row unless you want to normalize them to start a specific point. Room's origin is fixed and predictable. Each room position is relative to when saving and loading positions. You save them relative to rooms. You can leave the rooms wherever you manually place them. The coordinates just need to remain consistent with the rooms. The reason to shift them would be if you want to avoid negative coordinates or make it easier for box selection. Go ahead and tell me the strategy. I'll decide if I want to act on that or not, because I'm going to figure out here how all this stuff works. Because in theory, should be able to pull up correct positions now. Make sure existing rooms are relative to rooms, that's fine. The layout camera can move independently. You don't touch rooms for that. Overlay, it stays independent too. Okay. Track a reference point for new rooms. Pick a consistent reference. Placement logic for mouse tracking. Convert viewport mouse position to room's local coordinates. Yeah, at any offset based on same room's local space, box logic compatibility. No thanks. No thanks. I'll figure what you next. Let me study my project for a few moments, please. Okay. Okay. So just make sure everything is saved, and I'm going to go ahead and unlock that. And I'm just going to move this lines overlay. Okay. We're going to unlock that. I'm not going to really worry that much about this being interesting. Rooms. Okay, that makes sense, right? Because I've actually moved the rooms in relationship to this. This is at 0, so let's reload save scene. Reload save scene. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so the locks are just for the overlay and the rooms and the room overlay, so I can't like move it around. I can still grab all the rooms themselves, and I can move them where I want to move them. Okay. Um, big first moment. I'm trying to decide if I want to move all the rooms starting with the main menu and start it from zero as well. Because the whole reason of being able to move them wherever I want is just so I can have a layout that makes sense to me visually. And it almost doesn't matter whether it's way up or way down. The only reason I was doing this is because 00 was up here, so I would move the majority of rooms where I was working. It's like, okay, so I'm working on. I know this is a long ways here, but I'm working right around here, and so I might move this up to where this is near the gap, so that whenever I put a new room out, it would actually be right near where I'm working, and so I don't have to drag it all the way down, because that's kind of a pain in the butt. Now, eventually, like I said, you're gonna be doing a drag, so you're gonna hit the plus sign, or it'll probably just be a button, but it'll be the add room button, and then the panel's gonna appear underneath your mouse, and then you're gonna move it around until you drop it off. And I think I'm gonna do it based off of a left click, not off of a release. In other words, you're not gonna drag it, hold it, and then let go, because that's a kind of a pain in the butt. No, what you're gonna do is you're gonna click it. It's gonna be on there. Um, and then you'll be able to move it around. You won't have to do anything with the mouse button until you get to your location you want. You're going to click it again to deposit it, just to make it kind of easier. I don't know. I always find dragging kind of a pain in the butt. It's like when you drag files into your file browser. You can do that, but I always find it's not that easy to do that. I always find it easier to navigate to the file folder and open the file that way. So this is kind of a similar thing. I personally, I would find dragging uh, would be kind of annoying if I had to hold down the button. So no, you click on it to pick up the new button. You you drop it somewhere. Probably if you're picking up a room, you could probably right click and it would discard it. In other words, it would not add it there. And then I'll have it like a temporary node that's a add node or temporary room node or whatever that is actually sitting underneath your mouse, and then you drop it. And when you right click it, all it will do is just it'll nullify it, and it'll remove it essentially. It won't remove an existing room. An existing room, you'll select rooms and you'll hit remove, and it'll remove all of them. And I'm also going to have it save and delete stuff on the fly. Well, I'm not sure about the delete part because that might be dangerous to do it that ways. So I might have a deal. Nah, I'd still do it. I'll have a confirmation box, right? Confirmation. Are you sure you want to delete these rooms? Are you sure you want to delete or something? And say yes or no. And yes, I'll just do it. In fact, it'll do it and actually delete the files and stuff associated with it. Um, and even see, add. I'm not sure if yeah, add and delete should not save. It should not add and delete files until you hit your button to hit save game data, I guess. I'm not sure. Could do a thing where it gives you an ASCII. Would you like to? Uh, yeah. I could have a thing where it's a thing where it says, would you like to delete the JSON files as well? And if you say no, then it will just remove the room from the dealie. In other words, throw it down the memory hole, basically. And then if you save it that way, it will save. But then if you say yes, it will just automatically delete it. Maybe that's how I'll do it, because doing it with a a confirmation dialog. So that would be kind of helpful doing that, I think. Okay, anyways, okay, so I'm gonna want to maybe display coordinates. Let me look at my script here for a second. I know it seems like I'm kind of spinning wheels and stuff, but we're gonna do. I don't have is under mouse anymore, right? Input. Room mouse inside. Click any room equals true. Oh, I see. Um, some here main. I don't have a main menu thing in here, do I? Okay, that's actually all right. Um, all right. So get mouse position is just the mouse position. Connect room clicked. Maybe I should go ahead and print this separately. Let's go. Okay, so let's go into now I'm room clicked. Mouse position. We're gonna print mouse local. Print. Maybe I won't print it here. Let's go into input. Where's the input function? Okay, let's do something here. Var local mouse pause equals get mouse position. And then we're gonna say var panel rect. No, I don't want to get panel rect. Actually, I want to do that. Okay, var main menu pause equals what do they call it? Is it room dictionary? Room dict room. Let's get room children. Zero dot position. I think that's how that works. I am not sure for sure. Declare but never use. Yeah. I'll be using them in a sec here. Right. Local mouse position equals plus local mouse plus main menu position equals plus main menu pause. That. Okay, so I am going to look and see if getting the mouse position is actually similar to, right? So I'm actually going to move it. All right. So let's see what we got here. Let's clear that out. It's probably going to be a lot of output here, but let's go ahead and run it. And I got to check here that. And then I need to go ahead and pan down. Zoom in. That. Now we're in here. We're going to click it. String vector 2, of course. Is it string? Like that. Oh. Alright. How do I convert a vector into a printable string? I know I can do it outright, but I need to do this because plus doesn't work on that. str, lowercase. Alright. And str. Let's stop this. We're going to go ahead and run it. Now, all we want here, something like that. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and close it just so it'll save it. Might tweak the saving thing where it maybe won't do it when you exit. Maybe you'll have to save it or something. Okay, so local mouse position 955, 405. Many position is still negative. Okay. It's still somehow doing it in string position. It's not doing it in roll position. Okay, we're gonna just do a thing here. If camera actually, let's do this. We're gonna put these 3 into the camera block here. So let's just go ahead and do this. I almost could just do it with just the hashtags themselves. All right, let's see now. Okay, so we only want to do this if the camera exists. Okay, that's cool. Now the next thing I want to do is here. get viewport get viewport, I guess. Oh, I forget. Where's the dang get mouse position? Just so I can remember how to, and go back to down to the input. Get mouse position. Get viewport, get mouse position. Viewport, get mouse position. So, and let's delete this. Let's put this. Okay. Okay. Rooms to local. We have rooms to global. Rooms to global. Now let's do something here. Let's get local mouse position. Let's leave that. Bar global mouse pause equals rooms dot to global. Oh. And let's go ahead and say Control C. Let's go ahead and do this plus Control V, and we're gonna make this global. Global. And make this global. That. And we are going to go ahead and clear this out. And we're going to restart it. And we're going to review it. So that I want to see if any of these are even close to what we're looking at. Because doing it to rooms local is not how you should be doing it. Because somehow it's... yeah. Right. So the mouse, converting it to local, viewport to local space, they're all both in... Well, I don't know. It means it should be up in the sky here for some reason, and it's not. So I'm not sure what the deal is, but let's see what we get here. This. Okay, ready? And click. Global mouse. How come? So really the only way to get it in, I don't know. That would mean that main menu would have to be at 00, and everything would have to follow along to that, which is fine. Take the zoom into account, don't we? Space, that's all right. Hmm. Local to rooms. So it's still, I guess, still the problem is this is the same problem that I've always had, which is that main menu. I should do several print statements. Um, so what happens if I add the position of the particular? What did you viewport get mouse position? Then add the position of the panel. Hmm. Okay. Edit a test. All right. Let's close this. Okay. So I did a test. You do rooms dot to local or rooms dot to global and use the viewport mouse position. They're exactly the same. Explain that. Explain, please. Once you think about what's happening, let's break this down. Get viewport, get mouse position. Mouse position and viewport coordinates, basically 2D pixel coordinates of the mouse relative to the top left corner of the viewport. That would be the camera. Know anything about your rooms node, its position, or any camera, it's just purely screen space. To local converts a global position, converts a global position to a position relative to the room's node. Expects that input position is the global coordinates, not viewport coordinates. Rooms set to global converts a local position relative to rooms. No parent transformations, then to local and to global effectively do almost nothing. Rooms that to local viewport position assumes uh, okay, that's fine. The catch: the viewport mouse position is not actually global world coordinates; it's viewport screen coordinates. Okay, that's why applying to local to global on it without considering the camera or node transformations doesn't do what you expect. To probably convert viewport screen coordinates, room's local coordinates, you need to take the camera into account. Get viewport, camera layout, camera. Okay, we already got camera. World position equals camera times mouse position. It's local position, rooms to local world position. Find inverse of the camera transform, convert screen viewport coordinates to world coordinates. Room to local converts world coordinates to room's local coordinates. This is usually the proper way to map mouse click in the same coordinate space. You want to? No, I mean I can. Um, if it's using Sora, then no. Because once I asked for anything outside regular cat stuff, and since my free stuff is up for today, it means I can no longer effectively use the same conversation because it won't let you generate an image or examine an external file. So don't draw any diagrams, please. Yeah, there's no external. Okay. It's alright. I'll just use you posted above. Give me a moment so I can see. Give me a moment so I can see what comes up. Perfect. Take your time testing that. All right. Let's go ahead and let's copy this. Okay. Except we'll change it a little bit here. Let's go ahead and yeah, it's not mouse position. I think I put it local mouse position, so let's call it local. That. Let's go ahead and print input position equals rooms local position. That. String. Q. Okay, let's try this again. Let's see what happens. Let's see what the new position thing posts. It probably won't be right either, but I have to try something just to see if I can do anything. Local mouse position, main menu position. global mouse position. Interesting. It's still not right. So let's say, for instance, well, okay. So this is, see, the new position here is 1806, the X position. The other is negative 1110. It's still not right. Still not sure why it's not right, but it's not right. Let's see. Get viewport mouse position, and then add the rooms in question's position. Let's do that. Let's see what happens when I do that. All right. Let's try something else. All right. But I'm not even worried about this stuff. What we're going to do here is instead, we are going to main menu position, right? Camera dot get viewport dot get mouse position. What? Oh. That. Okay, that should work there at least. Or do anything with it just yet. Let's say var view mouse pause equals that. Okay. Then we say var okay, main menu, okay. What do I want to call this new position here? Converted. Converted pause equals view mouse pause plus main menu. That's not really what I want either, is it? All right, converted mouse position. Okay. Print converted mouse position equals comma converted pause. So conversed. Okay. So let's see how that turns out. Just out of curiosity. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to do this. Converted is negative 145 and negative 31 464. So your y looks like it's now in a sort of correct range, but your x is not for some reason. Okay, we'll do one more little test. And we'll say, print converted pos with local. It doesn't really matter what it says. Equals local mouse pause plus main menu pause. Doesn't mean it will do anything that I want it to do, but I want to try it and see if I can just see something here. Okay, that's going to be the same. I do wonder how come that is almost off by 1,000 though. I'm just going to give this directly to ChatGPT and see what it can come up with. See if you can explain this output. This code. This code. And let's actually go to the actual code. C O V. What? Oh, it's all there. See what it can tell me. It's weird that it should be off by 1,000. I don't know why it would be off by 1,000 still, because what I'm doing is I'm putting the look mouse position, get mouse position, get mouse position returns the mouse position relative to the current node. This code is inside layout tool node. Effectively viewport coordinates. That is no transform. Okay, that's fine. It's just a cursor on the screen. Global mouse position equals rooms. That to global. Position local and converts to global coordinates. You're passing viewport coordinates which are not local to rooms, so the global to global doesn't really transform anything meaningful. Okay. Main menu pause, room children. This position the main menu room relative to the rooms node. It can't be relative to the rooms node, can it be? I guess it can be. I guess that is correct. Okay. Because it's above and to the left of the room's origin. That's fine. It is up into the room's origin. Up and to the left. Seen by the camera, so necessary if the camera's been resumed, then a room's local position. And that's probably still the deal. I'm still not taking into account the zoom, right? Converted. Pause. Here you're just taking the viewport coordinates and adding the room's local position, which matches what you see. This is basically a crude attempt to map mouse into room space by offsetting the first room. And it would be offsetting any room that I'm using. It sort of works. It's not formally correct because it ignores camera transformations or scaling. Converted pause with local. Same as above. Effectively the same. A viewport exactly the same layout tools is a plain though your rooms to global doesn't do what you think. Adding to the rooms numerically, but as a hack, it's not coordinate space safe solution. The giant numbers are because you're mixing viewport camera rooms without fully accounting for room zoom or scale. It's probably the scale. Coordinates relative to the rooms and nullifying versus domain offset no adding. Sure. We'll see what it comes up with. It's probably not going to come up with anything useful. I'll probably do it, and it probably won't work again. I'm just going to copy the function and see if it works without any like changes or any fixes or anything. So let's go ahead and close this. Let's go ahead and put it above the input function, and let's get Control S, and let's see what it says. Okay, it doesn't look like there's a problem here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and say print print mouse in rooms equals get string get mouse in rooms. Okay, take that. We're just going to run it. Okay, and then we're going to do this. That's, what is the problem? Oh, that's what the problem is. Okay, try this again. Yeah, get camera transform is not there. Have a get camera transform. In fact, what do we have? Where do we have the affine get global transform? Fine. That doesn't work, and that's stupid. Stop. Okay. do something instead. Let's just go ahead and comment that out and do one more thing here. Converted position. Do something here. Camera got zoom. Doesn't mean it'll do anything at all. Doggone it. I gotta get typing converted. It's okay. We're almost done for today, and nothing's gonna work. So if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, right? Right. Okay. Converted. Okay, that didn't do what I expected it to, so I guess that's dumb. Then forget it. Still is. So it's all still crap, and I still can't figure it out. Oh, hey, I'll get it. Just delete all of this other crap. This probably won't do anything because it's just not going to do anything. But I'll try this weird thing. Camera dot zoom. I just want to see what it reads. It's 504. If let's put this at the top here. Um, plus equals main view pause. Doesn't mean it will work, but we can see what it shows. How can it be 1,000 off though? That's the thing that gets me. you want to adjust camera coordinates. I am not sure. I know it's about time for me to quit though. No, don't do anything. Nothing seems work like I want, and I'm pretty much not work today, but we can ask something. Uh, no, that isn't it either though. Should take the camera position and add the room panel position to it, though it were doing it from 0, 0. Then I should be able to take the mouse viewport position I could take the camera position and add the room panel position to it. Then I could match it to the mouse position on the screen. Position as an offset and add the room position to it. Get a rough alignment of the viewport coordinates. Shifts the visible world. Her formula would be something like room global position, camera minus camera global position. The room position is already in global world coordinates or local to the rooms. May need to use rooms to global. Show world position first. And then it'll be just based on wherever the anchor of the room is, whether that be in the middle of the separator like I have it in the editor. Might try doing this when I get back either Monday or Tuesday. Because the whole problem is getting the screen coordinates of the particular panel. And this way you could just check the camera, viewport, mouse coordinates directly. Is about things by converting the room's global position to relative to the camera. You essentially map it into the same space as the viewport mouse coordinates, so you don't have to juggle multiple local coordinate conversions. Nice way to sidestep all the phantom coordinate spaces. Once you have that, hit testing clicks becomes a simple comparison in screen space. Moves to global room position. Let's see something here. We have a camera. Got global position. Print. Global. End. Okay. Let's go ahead and just click it. Doesn't really matter. Doggone it. Camera global, see? It's interesting, but the camera global should not be. Hmm, interesting. Main menu global on you us. Rooms dot global dot global. Okay, let's try it again. So that's already in global positioning. So that's do something here. I can actually do something here, though. Say, up to color rect position equals selection color rect position equals, main menu pause. Now, do this. Okay. So if I just run it, where does it put the box? Wait a second. Where's the box though now? The box is still here. How come it didn't move it though? Oh, I have to hit the button. That's what the problem was. The problem is I have to click on it because it's only when we click. Alright. Doesn't really matter that much, but boom. Ah. So now it's starting to make sense a little bit. Which is correct because the panel, I moved the panel up, so that's the anchor. Oh, making sense, making sense. Now, what if equals camera global? Position. Let's see what happens when I do that. Interesting. Right, okay, so right in the center of the screen is the camera position. Okay. Things are starting to make some sense now. Things are starting to make sense. So my main menu position, especially since rooms is 0, 0 now, the main menu position is essentially global positioning. So global positioning is that number. Okay. Okay. Now it's starting to make sense. Now it's starting to. Too bad I have to quit now. Okay. Okay, I just did a few tests. So the main menu pause is the global position, which is normal since rooms is at 0, 0. The camera global, okay. It is also the center that I created it in. In other words, I offset the panel by middle horizontally and separator vertically. Camera global position hit the center of the viewport. Camera is up your main menu right now. The positions are nearly the same. The positions are nearly the same, which is what you would expect. Okay, so like I said, I can add the main menu onto the camera position, wherever the camera position is, and effectively puts it back within the camera's viewport as if it were in the camera's viewport. The room in the camera, which corresponds to your screen, it gives you a simple way to compare directly to the camera. That get mouse position. It's your main panels near the camera's current center. Their coordinates being nearly the same, exactly what you'd expect. Appear offset on the screen in proportion that. Do hit test without juggling to local to global repeatedly. So I could always, and what I might do is I might um, switch it back to where the anchor point is the upper left. And I might even do that with the camera if I can figure out a way to do that. Check. To see what rooms are in the viewport. This. Okay, well, time is up for today, and we'll resume this either Monday or Tuesday, depending on if I can find time. We'll use this as a starting point. All I need to know is what rooms are in the viewport. I can do that with some math that defines that returns viewport rectangle and judges where what rooms are within view. Then I can just do a simple viewport get mouse position, which would tell me if my mouse was touching any particular room. I think that would work. I mean, I'm thinking back to my days of just like writing scrolling, like a scrolling engine, and you have a viewport. So basically, um, you have your upper left and lower right, and you determine how many tiles are within the screen extents. Adding one or two, depending on when one's off the screen and the other one's not on the screen or whatever, or adding two or something like that. So when you move it, you're indexing into, and you're assuming it's like it's sort of like doing a zero indexing. I don't know if I'm saying the right thing. If you've ever done scrolling, like old scrolling code that's not cameras and not already done for you, then you probably get the idea of what I'm talking about. So once you have a viewport rectangle and world coordinates, you can just check which room's global positions intersect with the rectangle to know it's visible. Use camera get viewport get mouse position directly to translate to viewport relative space. Compare the mouse position to the room's positions in the viewport rectangle to see what's under the cursor. No need multiple conversions. Okay, thanks for that help. I'll see you next week. All right. So I guess thanks everybody. Oops, missed it. Keeping my eye on the storm. 2+ miles. Well, yes, but those are ones that get you gusts. Yeah. Oh yeah. Stay safe, Rook. Um. Okay, so I guess that ends it for today. I should have been done already. Obviously I should have been done at 3:30, but it just when I'm doing this, especially when I'm wrong, usually, this stuff just kind of I just get new ideas like, what if I try this? What if I try this? What if I try this? And so I was just thinking back to when I was doing scrolling stuff and kind of going, what you did is you took your position and you figured out uh, where you were. You figure out where the upper left corner of your scrolling screen is in the world based on the extent, I guess, and then you index into the. Anyways, I maybe you know what I'm talking about because I can't articulate it right now for some reason. But it's the same thing. You basically you translate the things into screen space, right? So it's like your tiles. You're translating your tiles into screen space, and then you like convert back. So I determine what room panels are within this in the viewport, and then I use that. And I probably, like I said, I probably switch the origin to be upper left for the camera and upper left for my room panels, and I'll move them and not utilize the separator for that. I was getting annoyed that I had to move them like that, but I'm gonna have to switch them back, I think, just to make the math something that I'm used to more. I'm not used to using the center. I never use the center. In fact, I always thought it was weird because because a screen, right? An old memory map was just it was just across and down, right? So like the rows, right? So if you're in mode 13H, you have that 64K of video space, video memory, and you write to that, and so you're writing to the right, you're writing down. That's why Cartesian coordinates are flipped. And so whenever I was dealing with stuff, I would always think in terms of upper left, always upper left for sprites and stuff. It was never the center of the sprite because you have to do some weird, like, it's not weird if you're used to it, but it's like weird if you're not used to it, to divide everything by two to make sure everything's in the center. And so I never used to do center stuff. I used to do upper left, lower right, so that if it was to the right side of the screen, I'd be judging from the right side, and then if it was on the left side of the screen, I'd be judging by the X position. X position plus width would be the right side. Stuff like that. Anyways, thanks for bearing with me, and we got a little bit done today. Not too bad. Hopefully next week things will pick up again. We'll see. And I might not be here on Monday because Dad has an appointment, so I might not get enough time to do any streaming. So it might be not until Tuesday that I'm back. So I'll talk to you then. I'll talk to you either Monday or Tuesday. And thanks for watching. Thank you for watching part 2.